just spent quite a while. I can't even say last night because it was like yesterday into the night, just reorganizing my freaking basement. I got a good decluttering. A good decluttering will do you well sometimes. Plus, you end up going back and finding stuff, just random, like just not junk, but like just random like things or knickknacks, which you totally forgot about, and now they're right there for you. You know, so I tell you this, I'm not always one to like ask for comments, but if you've got a really cool like desk or like side of desk like set of drawers that you like, I'm all freaking ears. I think honestly, when I get like a finished, you know, desk setup, I might just get like a huge Milwaukee, like, or any brand, whatever, like tool tray, because I get so much random like just mild interest of like different like watch parts, like if you know what Seiko mods are, or just like all my cables, and then with all the camera stuff, there's microphones. So I think what'll be good for me is to get a big drawer and then get like a sticker labeler right out each one, and then I can have one old DS games. I found my old DS, I had a DSi, that was my thing. So yeah, it's good to be organized like that, and that's you know, not totally dissimilar to the feeling of working out, right? Yeah, let's spin it back to the topic at hand. In the process, you know, for some, not exactly the most thing in the world, or the most fun thing in the world to sit and clean, or just like organize, or do your work, or whatever. But you feel good when it's done, right? So when it comes to working out, I think I'm in an exception percentage, because I like I'm not waiting for the workout to end. Like, I like to do it, but I also like the feeling of being done with it too, because I'm like, I get this, you know, I couldn't say the exact psychological response, but just the feeling of, I did it. That was good. I made something happen today, you know? So it's kind of like that military logic of make your bed, line up your whatever, just start with something. Start with a little W in the morning just to get you going, because then, you know, you've already started off the day 1 for 1, right? You're killing it. And then just try to keep that momentum up. You know, do I make my bed every morning? Maybe not exactly, but I do my cardio every morning, or in this case, my cardio after the workout in the morning. So that's my version. That's my making my bed is my doing my cardio, and it works decently freaking well. So plan for back, I guess I'll just kind of have to see. I don't know. I want to change it up. You know, I feel like my back days are a little repetitive. Not because like I've been doing the exact same things, but there's kind of only like so much stuff to do. You know, you can do a chest supported row. I'm not really, especially dieting, you're not really going to catch me do bent over barbell or even bent over dumbbell rows. Maybe light squeezing. I like the dumbbell rows, but bent over single arm, you just like I feel like I get this like torque on my midsection, and I don't want to like really work my cross abdominal wall or whatever and like thicken up my waist from the inside. You know, like if every day I did like, you know, 100-pound like ball throws like from side to side, I think it would thicken up my waist, but not in like a cool ab developing way, but just in like a blocky kind of way. So that's kind of my logic. So, you know, if you think that's kind of stupid, then keep doing your bent over dumbbell rows. But for me, it's just like a weird torque. It just makes my stomach feel weird. I'd rather just do like a chest supported, or at least like a bent over barbell row. But if I'm doing chest supported rows primarily, and then pull downs and pullovers, well, there's really only 2 pullovers, cable and machine. Pull downs, you know, I do my extra variation with the bench, with the adjustable cable arm and the 2 long D handles, and I feel like that works pretty well. Like, I really like the feeling of that. But you know, beyond that, I think maybe I'm just being a little closed-minded, and I should try to think outside the box a little bit more, because especially now, like I consider dieting times when I can be a little bit more creative with my training, if you feel what I'm saying. Because if I'm bulking up, then fuck. Oh, okay. Holy shit. I could have sworn I didn't turn the mic on. Oh my god, that freaking scared me. But, what was I going to say? But yeah, so if I'm trying to bulk up, well, I want to make sure the workouts are solid. I want to do what I know is going to work for me. So I'm going to stick to my version of the basics and not really branch off too far from that. Chest, solid, heavy chest press. Obviously, I change it up. But when I'm dieting, that's when, okay, all I need to do is stimulate, get a good pump and squeeze. Well, I've never tried this before. Hell, I'm only maintaining. I'm not growing. Let's try this, and then I try new, different kind of stuff, and I feel like I use that trial and error from a dieting phase, and then I pick the best stuff out of it to do the coming off season to try to really, kind of stimulate. Like, I'm trying to think of the most recent new movement that I've done. I like this isn't new, but I do like it. Like the chest supported or the incline bench with the cables press, where you're leaning back and you're pressing the cables inward. That one's really solid. Even the incline bench up against the cable to do the rows, where it's like a half row, half pull down. That one's really solid. I feel like I don't see that all the time. What's one more? Sissy squats are going a little bit more mainstream. I do see people throwing some sissy squats after they've done some leg extensions, which I like. What else? Well, there's a million things, so that's probably one of the best things you can get out of being on your phone if you're into the gym, because you can see videos of people working out in ways that you've never thought of before, and shit, maybe you like it, Like I used to think that trying to do bicep bias pull downs, so you sit on a cable with a straight bar and you're doing a pull, like a chin-up action almost, and you're squeezing your biceps, like you're manually activating your biceps. You're pulling your hand to your shoulder, not your elbow to your hips. And when I first saw that, I was like, what are you, nuts? That's a back movement. That is a back movement. You can't work your biceps from a chin-up. Me being a closed-minded lifter, not being open to new ideas. And then eventually I tried it. Shit, man, awesome squeeze. If you've never done that before, I'd recommend throwing it in on your next bicep day. So whether you're honestly off-season, dieting, either one, as a squeeze, it's pretty good. Is it like perfect? I wouldn't say so, but just as a squeezing, burning movement to throw in the mix, you're good. That's and is that the point, even to try to find perfect movements, right? Saffron or not saffron, but garlic or onions or whatever kind of seasoning somebody's mixing into a really awesome dish of whatever variety comes to mind. Well, each one individually isn't perfect. It's its own thing, but combined, right, it adds to this experience, right? Each part kind of completes the others, So I'm not so concerned about making sure that every set is perfect, or that every set is the most stimulating and has the most motor unit recruitment, or anything like that. I just want to make sure that if I pick 3, or even if I pick 2, that those 2 movements kind of play off each other well to finish the workout with a complete pump. So if today I decided, all right, I'm going to start with 4 sets of chest supported upper back rows. Excuse me. I'm only sipping on the pre yet. I haven't drank it all. But if I decide 4 sets of upper back focused chest supported rows, and then 3 sets of pull downs, well, shit, man, I got everything going on up here pretty well, and a good lat focused movement to finish. I mean, I'm cool with that, But I'm not gonna be sure what's gonna kind of play off each other so well until I get in there, started, warmed up, and say, okay, this feels good, and this doesn't. And Honestly, I think that's a lot more important to me than I might give it credit for. Not so much saying this feels really good, I want to keep doing this, but every time I do a movement and then I say, ooh, I don't really like how that felt. I think a lot of people can do that. A lot of people might have a chest day written out, or a leg day or something, and maybe they paid for a program, so they want to stick to the program. Oh, I don't really like the feeling of this machine. The program said I had to do it. Okay, does it anyway. Right? Not awesome. I want every movement to feel like it's clicking. And at this point, I've done so many workouts and so many different sets. I've got a good like glossary in my mind of what movement to do when I feel a certain way. So if I come in and let's say, like if I go too heavy, my sort of sign that I'm starting to overdo it, I don't want to say overtrain, but just that I'm starting to get a little bit extra fatigued, is my elbows will get sore right on the inside. Like this chunk of forearm on the inside of my elbow will kind of start getting a little tender. Like if I curl too heavy or I do a back day that's too much, that's a little bit of a sign for me where I say, oh yeah, I'm kind of feeling that. So if I start doing pull downs and I really feel it in here, well, heavy pull downs I think should be off the table because that's kind of, getting me. Let's do a lighter pullover or just a light squeezing pull down so I don't really, kind of get that feeling. And I think every time that you can say, this set isn't for me right now, this movement isn't for me right now, let's switch it for something else, like quickly, where you don't even lose momentum in the workout, the better, because that's, it's like somebody who's a freaking, pro slopes snowboarder, zipping through curves and like taking twists. He never stops, right? He keeps moving, he avoids all obstacles, but he keeps going at a high rate of speed. Whereas the beginner, obviously, French fries and pizzaing it is going to take a little longer, and if he sees an obstacle, I can't turn, I just gotta, things like that, right? So I think that's something that's a little bit understated. I think there's much more value in being able to kind of not create, but adjust a workout in the moment versus just trying to write out the perfect workout beforehand and then executing it, But that's just me, right? So, I guess if you did write the perfect workout, then it would be perfect and every set would feel awesome, So if that's you, well, then you're freaking good, right? But it's like anything, it's hard to predict, that's for sure. But I think no more talking. This back day should not should not take more than 30 minutes, and it's not because I'm trying to like crunch it down to 30. From set 0 to set whatever, by the time I'm fully pumped and I feel like I've basically hit everything to my level of intensity, it just doesn't take so long. Plus I've got shorter rest periods because I'm dieting. Each set isn't so damaging where I have to really huff and puff. It takes me longer to catch my breath in an off season because every set is so much heavier because I'm so much stronger that I have to sit for a second and okay, now let's hit another one. So little differences, but I want the intensity to remain the same year-round, cut, bulk, or anything in between. So I think nothing else to say. Let's just get freaking started. All right, Mr. Someone forgot his headphone charging case, and now they're dead. But actually, I think that'll be good. So, phone over yonder. Let's do a full-on no phone lift, which I know is like stupid. Like obviously, that's nothing. But even when I don't know, I'm not one to text. Like I'm not one to sit here and like play on my phone. But I'm definitely scrolling through songs. I'm sure it's a bit of a distraction. So let's try today. Totally. Well, I guess I'm not technology-less. Because you're right there. But no, let's start with pull downs. Relatively light, so 200 pounds on the stack, which really isn't crazy. Like that's, No warm up, no anything. That's fine. I've warmed up, of course, but I'm gonna do very particular reps. So what I mean by that is at least like a second, maybe even a 2-second hold at the bottom. And I'm trying to feel my elbows like not just come straight down, but even a little bit down and back. Like I'm trying to almost arch a little bit and then get my elbows to tap each other behind me. They're not gonna, but that's like my mental cue that I'm imagining. So with this weight, I should be able to have a pretty substantial hold and burn, and then that'll be a good starter for whatever I move on to next. So I don't know if this is going to be lat focused, mid back focused. Let's worry about the set at hand before we start thinking about whatever's going to come after. All right. Okay. 2. 2. Okay. Oh my goodness. One more of those. Oh, okay. All right. Let's move on to something else. Not sure when, but we'll see. A little heavier, but same logic. Hold while I can, and then once I can't really hold it for much more than like a split second, just switch to burnout faster reps. Oh man. One more of those. No. Ooh. Oh, crap. Okay, I know what's next. One more machine, then I think back to a cable. This pull down machine is nice. It's nice and it's freaking heavy. The reason for that, the handles are like, let's say 1 unit away from the pivot point, and the weight probably more like 1.3, 1.4 times that far. So every 1 pound over here is gonna feel like what? almost 1.5, 1.3, something like that. So the gist is I don't need a lot of weight. Plus, it's, since it's a plate loaded thing, you can build up a lot of momentum. So I want to go slower, lighter anyway, just so I have constant tension. But this will be good. So with this machine, I can lean back into it. So even though it's obviously a pull down stretch up top, as I lean back into the bottom, it kind of turns into a slightly more row kind of angle thing, right? Like at the top, I'm pulling down towards my lats, but it kind of swings around. And if I lean back, then at the bottom, I'm not just squeezing lats, I'm squeezing mid-back. And there's a little something extra about a mid-back squeezing anything, but in this case, this movement, because I think that there's a lot of grain to be developed with that sort of squeeze. Obviously, we're always thinking either like shrug or row, but I like this kind of, in my head, it's so clear, like it might be kind of hard to describe. But I feel like usually, even I just said it, we're trying to imagine pulling with our elbows. But in the bottom of a squeeze, it's like I'm trying to pull my shoulders back around my body so that like my rear delts touch each other. And when I get that extra kind of imagination, that's where I start squeezing that rhomboid looking area. I don't know if you can see it in the reflection, probably not, but like lat is this bottom sweep, and then your trap is up top, and in the middle, right between your rear delt and your traps, is all that kind of rhomboid teres major stuff, like the eye of the demon back, if you know what I'm saying. And the more squeezing reps I do like that, where I really feel it, I do think it helps in that kind of particular area's development. But let's get started here. And this is going to be squeezing. This is going to be a squeezing one. All right. Okay, come on. All right. Yeah. 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 Oh my gosh. That felt okay. I don't want to do one more of those. Let's move on. That was a good set. Like, it contributed. But another one I don't think would beat whatever else I'm going to pick next. Let's do not really light. I think I still feel it. But a set of single arm pullovers, alternating 5 reps each side. So out of everything, honestly, I think this movement gives me the best, like, lower lat squeeze and burn. And it's just because in the action of this pullover, single arm I like more. Like, I'm pulling down, and then it's just this extra, like, dig at the bottom, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, one of these. Yeah, a little heavier. That's good. Yeah. Okay. All right. Honestly, that might be it. Let me think for a second. But through the shirt, let's see what kind of detail we're rocking with. And honestly, I'm feeling like a freak. No, like I'm barely even doing a lat spread here. Like I'm just kind of standing with my lats like not even like, this is not tensed. Oh my gosh. Now let's see for real. So, what was that? Two sets of pull downs, 2 sets of rows, 1 machine pull down, which I didn't end up loving, but was still a good set. Like it added to the, kind of the whole workout's value. And then a set of single arm cable finishers, a little more pump focused. I mean, shit, that all adds up to a pretty gnarly back day for me. So let's get a look. There we go. Oh my goodness. Let's get Arnold, and then I can get in the bike and get cardio started. Oh my gosh. That was good. So, a nice morning lift, running off of 2 packs of oatmeal just so I have something in my system. Now all I gotta do is go pedal for a quick 30 or a quick half episode of a show of choice, and then you're good. But this is what I'm talking about, especially in those single arm pullovers, when I'm saying that deep lat squeeze, because your lat goes all the way down to wherever, right? Like for me, that's the bottom of my lat. It's tying in way down there. So in that single arm pullover, big stretch up top, and then I'm digging down, and I want to feel all of that all the way down to the bottom. Tense up. And going back and forth, same thing. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Like I'm trying to get my arms like way back there. So honestly, I feel like that's adding a good chunk of grain to the Christmas tree. So let me do a little something and see if I can get the tree really popping out. Oh my gosh. All right. That was the sick lift. Let's go do some freaking pedaling.